Today I'm 20 years old, but I still remember that horrible yet mysterious incident that happened to me. I was just 13 at the time. My whole family planned to visit my aunt's house, an aunt who, for some reason, has always hated me. Because of that, I refused to go. My mother really wanted me to come along, but I hated my aunt just as much as she hated me, so I declined. Eventually, everyone went without me, leaving me alone at home. Everything was fine at first. I had the house to myself and ate a lot of snacks. But then, something happened. At first, I thought it was completely fine. Well, not completely, I guess. I had been eating snacks the whole time and watching movies, completely unaware of how much time had passed. At some point, I must have dozed off on the sofa in the living room. I woke up to a strange sound. At first, I assumed it was just the TV. But the moment I sat up, a weird feeling came over me. The entire house was dark. Maybe it was because I had started watching TV when it was still bright outside, and now it was pitch black. I hadn't turned on any lights earlier. So after that, I went to the washroom and checked the time. That's when I realized it was 1 a.m. I tried to go back to sleep since it was so late, but honestly, because I had overslept earlier, I just couldn't. That's when the doorbell rang, and I was shocked. Who could possibly be at our house this late at night? A flood of strange, terrifying thoughts hit me all at once. I gathered all the courage I had, picked up my phone, and opened the camera app to check who was at the door. My heart was pounding like crazy. But the moment the camera feed loaded, all my fear vanished. Weren't they supposed to stay overnight at my aunt's house? Why were they back so soon? Something didn't feel right. Still, I tried to act normal and brave. I let them in, helped them settle down, and brought them some water. When I handed a glass to my brother, he acted like I was giving him one of my kidneys. I just ignored him, like I usually do. I sat down across from them, still watching closely. My parents looked normal, I guess, but not exactly normal. They weren't really talking, just sitting there, staring. Not at me, just at the floor or the walls, like they were waiting for something. That's all. No explanation, no details, just that. My dad gave a small nod. My brother kept sipping water like it was the most serious thing in the world. None of them looked tired, even though they had supposedly just come back from a long visit. That's when I noticed something that made my stomach twist. They weren't wearing shoes. They had left hours ago wearing sandals, and yet, barefoot. Their feet were dirty, like they had walked through mud. Inside my head, something screamed, "They're not supposed to be here." I swallowed my fear and forced a shaky smile. "Okay then, I'm going to sleep. You guys should rest too," I said, trying to sound as normal as possible. None of them responded. I turned around slowly and walked toward my room, but the second I was out of their line of sight, I practically sprinted down the hallway. My feet barely touched the ground. I burst into my room, slammed the door shut, and locked it. My hands were trembling as I backed away from the door. Heart racing, I grabbed my phone again. This time, I didn't wait. I opened the chat with my mom and texted, "Me, why did you come back early?" Seconds felt like hours. Then, finally, her reply came in. "Mom, online 1 hour ago. We're still at your aunt's. Be home in the morning. Love you." I stared at the screen in horror. Then slowly, I heard footsteps in the hallway, heavy, slow, right outside my door. The footsteps stopped right outside my door. I held my breath. Tap. A soft knock, just once. Then silence. I didn't answer. I couldn't. My fingers hovered above the screen, unsure what to do next. Then I heard it. My mother's voice. But not quite my mother's voice. It was slower, a little too calm, a little too smooth. "Sweetie," she said, "why did you lock the door?" My throat went dry. She didn't call me that, ever. I stayed silent. "Is something wrong?" she asked again in that same calm tone. I backed away from the door, slowly, until I was pressed against the far wall. My phone buzzed in my hand. Another message. "Mom, online now. We're about to go to sleep. Call if you need anything. Good night." My hands were shaking so hard I nearly dropped the phone. Whoever or whatever was outside my door, it wasn't my mother. Then came the whisper, right next to the doorframe. Not loud, not angry, just soft. "I know you're awake." I froze. My ears rang, my heart thudding so loud I thought it might give me away. That whisper, "I know you're awake," lingered in the silence, cold and soft like a shadow. I didn't answer. I didn't even breathe. I just stared at the door, waiting. Then slowly the handle began to turn. Click, rattle, click. It stopped. Not because it gave up, but like it was considering something. The fear inside me twisted into something worse, feeling like whatever was outside wasn't just trying to get in, but testing me. I knew I couldn't stay out in the open. Whoever, or whatever, was in the house wasn't going to stop. My only option was the Almirah, the small closet in my room, cramped but hidden. I crawled inside, heart racing so hard it felt like it might burst. I shut the door quietly behind me and pressed my back against the wood. Darkness swallowed me. I held my breath, listening to every creak, every whisper from outside. Hours passed like minutes. I tried calling my mom again, but no network. No way to reach anyone. Exhausted, terrified, I finally closed my eyes and let the uneasy silence lull me into a fitful sleep. When I woke up, sunlight streamed through my curtains. I stepped out of the Almirah, still shaky, and found my real family sitting around the breakfast table, calm and smiling. "Why were you sleeping in the Almirah?" my mom asked, a little confused. I opened my mouth to explain, but no words came out. Was it all a nightmare? Or was something else still lurking in the shadows, waiting for nightfall?